Wow. Wolverine, Knights of the Old Republic remake. If the PlayStation 5 actually existed, it'd be an amazing system to get.
Right. Here we go.
What the hell are you doing?
What do you mean? We're talking about Street Fighter 2.
No, we're talking about Mortal Kombat again.
We're never going to talk about Street Fighter 2, the anime, are we?
No! God.
Hello and welcome to the Out of Touch podcast.
Lean forward slightly, you're out of frame.
Hello and welcome to the Out of Touch podcast.
Oh no, that's staying in.
Hi. Welcome to the show we do sometimes. My name's Chris, and that jerk over here is Bill, and we're talking about Mortal Kombat Legends. At least I would have liked to talk about Mortal Kombat Legends, but unfortunately, I don't remember anything that happened in these movies because of Bill, because before we started doing the podcast, he's like, hey, I got an idea. Why don't we watch Mortal Kombat The Journey Begins and Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, the other Mortal Kombat cartoons?
Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yep, and here we are 5 hours later.
Well, I wanted to stop after the first episode of Defenders of the Realm, but you insisted that it would eventually get good. But I was like, no, it got canceled for a reason.
I thought it was going to get good because Clancy Brown is in it, and it looks almost like Batman the Animated Series. Plus, its combat time never got old.
Combat time! 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 Combat time!
It got old in the first episode.
Because that's all we actually watched was the first episode.
Yeah.
Although the Dragon Jets, Mortal Kombat 2021, why weren't they in the movie? Like, seriously?
What about the Combat Cave?
That too. Also, Nightwolf is a hacker.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I guess every movie got him wrong. Except that one cartoon. That definitely did not get him wrong. Actually, you know what? Who the hell cares about Nightwolf?
The new movie literally just used him as like a piece of historical art or some shit.
I think even in this movie, he was used as like a
Was he?
previous... Yeah.
I don't think I even noticed.
Well, we're actually here to talk about Mortal Kombat Legends.
But I just made him watch that other stuff just to show that, man, animated Mortal Kombat stuff sure has come a long way.
It sure has.
The Journey Begins looked like a CD-ROM game cutscenes.
It definitely did. It was a weird hybrid thing. It's like, hey, we blended 3D animation with 2D animation. Also, we have 3D animation cutscenes that look like Sega CD, I guess. Or whatever's older than Sega CD. TurboGrafx CD?
It looks like something you would have seen on a PC CD-ROM game in fucking 1994.
It looks so bad that it's Kasumi Ninja.
It's almost worth watching for how bad it looks because it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Defenders of the Realm, however, is just kind of bad, and there's a reason why that show only lasted one season.
It's kind of boring.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But as you said, we're here to actually talk about the Mortal Kombat Legends movies. Last year's Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge, and this year's Battle of the Realms.
Yes. So, spoilers, because we don't know how to talk about anything. But to be warned, really good. Almost really good.
Pretty good to a point.
Yes.
And even then, it's still fine. It really just depends on your personal taste.
Yeah. We'll get into it.
But, I mean, first and foremost, they're animated movies. They're straight to video. Warner Brothers Animation. So they're about on par with what we've gotten with the DC stuff.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, they're violent as fuck.
Yes.
They're so violent.
These are the Mortal Kombat. Let's say before Mortal Kombat 2021 live action movie, it's like this was the top Mortal Kombat movie you wanted to see. in my opinion, this may be the best Mortal Kombat movie.
I think it still might be.
Yeah.
Because the new 2021 one, the story was kind of clunky. It had good action, it got the violence and stuff, but they made some weird choices with the story. This is like, it's the first Mortal Kombat story, not too different from the first movie, except it's hyper violent, and they actually have Scorpion's character right.
Yeah.
And Sub-Zero's there as well.
He sure is just there in this movie,
Yeah.
huh?
Well, to be fair, they incorporate the retcon. Sub-Zero didn't actually kill Scorpion's family, it was Quan Chi.
Yeah, because we want Sub-Zero to be a good guy, too.
Even though he died.
Yeah.
Because Scorpion killed him.
Yep. But I guess brief synopsis.
Did you see Mortal Kombat, the first movie back in
Yeah.
the day? It's that, but with Scorpion doing more stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah, opening scene, Lin Kuei kill Scorpion's family.
And his entire village.
Yeah.
And he goes on fucking murder spree of revenge.
Yeah.
When I was told about, I didn't even know this was coming. A friend of mine told me about this, and I just kind of bought it last year on a whim because it was 2020. Things were still locked down by us, and I was fucking bored. And I was like, well, you know what? Why not give it a shot? And I enjoyed the hell out of it. But during that initial opening action scene, it started getting so violent, I kind of started laughing because I was like, this is so insane.
It is pretty crazy. Yeah, I found out about the movie from you just because you're like, hey, there's an animated Mortal Kombat movie. And I'm like, oh, that's neat. And you're like, it's really good. And here's what the Steelbook looks like. You should go get it.
It's like, it's rated R. And you're like,
yeah. And then I got it. It was pretty cool. Yeah, it's what like a lot of people that like Mortal Kombat I think wanted. You know, Scorpion is kind of like the coolest character in Mortal Kombat, and it makes sense to make a movie mainly about him.
Yeah, it's weird that this is the only thing that he gets a focus in.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff from the 90s, treat him like shit.
Yeah, he's like a henchman for most of the time.
He's a brainwashed henchman in the first one. He's just generically evil in that cartoon, Defenders of the Realm.
Play the clip.
By all the powers of evil, I will not rest until I have my revenge.
Fuck, it's so weird. And
Yeah.
he's generically evil in that live action show, I think. Just generically evil. Even though he's an anti-hero.
Never technically was evil in the games.
No,
Yeah. Sub-Zero is evil.
sometimes.
Yeah.
It depends on the Sub-Zero and the continuity.
I guess definitively in Mortal Kombat 2021.
Oh, that version is definitively evil.
Yeah.
This one, in the Scorpion's Revenge, kind of ambiguous.
Yeah.
Because we don't really get to know him because our initial encounter with Sub-Zero, we learn later it wasn't really him, which kind of leads to like a kind of amusing moment to me where it's just like Scorpion finds Sub-Zero like at the tournament. It's like, you killed my family! And Sub-Zero's like, huh?
Yeah, he's like, I did what now?
And who in the what? I don't even know why I'm fighting you!
Yeah. The best part about this movie is probably all the action. It is literally like the first Mortal Kombat live action movie with Scorpion backstory and more Scorpion being in hell and escaping hell.
Yeah.
He's not like a henchman or anything. He's just, I guess he's kind of working for Quan Chi, sort of, because Quan Chi's like, hey, Shang Tsung has this like key to unlock Shinnok.
Go to the tournament on NetherRealm's behalf and you get this key from Shang Tsung, and I'll bring your family back, and you can kill Sub-Zero too.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, all an elaborate trick on his part.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting that we get to see Scorpion escape from hell because I guess hell is just you being chained up and being tortured by monsters because you can heal if you're in hell, but you feel a lot of pain, and Scorpion just is like, yeah, fuck this, and escapes and kills hell monsters that have lava for blood because metal. Like,
Because Mortal Kombat.
yeah. And I guess that's how he got his chain, but I think he had his chain while he was still alive.
Yeah, he had his. I think that's just how he gets a hell version of it. I don't
Yeah.
And the rest of the movie is not that different from the story we get in the first Mortal Kombat movie, with the exception of Liu Kang being like, yeah, of course, Lord Raiden, I totally get it.
Yeah.
As opposed to being like, fuck this bullshit.
Yeah.
But we get the Liu Kang, Sonya, and Johnny Cage all coming to the ship with their own different motives and reasons
Yeah.
and going to the island where the tournament is. And we even get a role reprisal from the original live action movie.
Oh, who?
The voice of Goro.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Hell yeah.
I think,
And he does something horrifically brutal in the movie.
yeah.
Because they captured Jax and made him fight Goro. And that's how Jax loses his arms in this. He gets his arms ripped off by Goro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's pretty crazy. You know, there's a lot of fun moments in this movie. Like, you know, Johnny Cage is the comic relief, and he pretty much gets punched in the balls all the time by Sonya.
And that continues into the sequel.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say this movie, you know, just it's hard to just talk about like the whole story because it's like, yeah, we have another podcast about Mortal Kombat. You know the story tournament.
It's the same story. They all have individual fights, and then it culminates in a big fight, like where Liu Kang fights Goro, and then he ends up fighting Scorpion.
Yeah.
But there's like a double, triple cross happening with freaking Quan Chi and Shang
Right.
Tsung and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, before even that happens, it's like Scorpion, you know, fights Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero kind of is just like, what's going on? They get like impaled on like a big stone stalagmite sticking out of the ground, like on top of each other, and Scorpion finds out Quan Chi's evil because like he shows up.
I mean, he knew he was evil, but he found out
he
that
found out he's like a double crosser, or not really like, oh, I killed your family because even more evil, bitch.
because I needed a pawn, and you were the best pawn.
Yeah. And he's like, and you'll just stay there for eternity being on top of this spike because I'm lazy and I won't do anything else. And
I'm just going to assume you're just going to lie there and take it, and even though you're an undead wraith, you're not going to come after me.
yeah.
Because I'm a fucking moron.
Yeah.
And shocker, the undead wraith Scorpion goes after him and fucks his ass up.
Probably one of the coolest endings to a Mortal Kombat thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like something you would want to see in live action, or like you want to see in live action the movie about Scorpion. Like, you don't give a shit about, like, in 2021, it's just like, who the fuck's Cole? Like, I don't care about him. Give me Scorpion. But
I know. And I said it when we reviewed the 2021 one. It's like, I don't get it. He's a character people know. He looks cool. Could sell action figures. He's Asian, so you got your diversity points there. It's fucking Scorpion!
yeah, and
He's got a catchphrase!
Yeah.
You can put it on shirts! Hell, they probably do put it on shirts. I'm sure there's like 50 of those. Get over
It's
here!
on frisbees. It's on a tote bag.
It probably is.
It's on this box of Totino's pizza rolls.
It could.
Yeah.
It could.
But yeah, cool scene. Like, you know, one of those satisfying, like, killing the bad guy. You know, Scorpion confronts Quan Chi at the end, fucks him up, takes his ninja hood off, has the skull face, does the hellfire, and melts Quan Chi.
Well, before that, he rips his fucking head off.
That too.
One good thing about both of these movies, they do a great job of incorporating all like the moves and the fatalities of everybody.
Yeah, and they don't even explain it. They're just like, this shit just happens in this world. Deal with it.
Well, it's like, wait, well, when did we establish Scorpion had a skull head? Shut up, go with it.
Yeah. Pretty much. It's just like, he escaped from hell. What do you think happened?
Well, because when we see him after he like fucks up all those demons and he goes up to Quan Chi, he's still human looking.
Yeah.
And then he's all kind of creepy looking when he shows up in Earthrealm or whatever with his ninja gear on. And then he rips it off and he's got a skull head. Don't get me wrong, I don't care. It's Scorpion. That's what he looks like.
Badass.
It's what he looks like.
It's like Ghost Rider.
It's exactly like that.
Except unlike Ghost Rider, Scorpion's actually a cool character, not just a cool tattoo.
Oh.
Shots
snap.
fired. I said it. Scorpion's a better character than Ghost Rider.
I think they're different.
But anyway,
I just don't have an opinion that way.
Yeah, so yeah, super epic, super cool.
And
It's
it ends in a way that sets up another movie where it's just like where Shang Tsung goes to Shao Kahn. It's like, I fucked up, and he's like, oh no, we're going there.
Yeah.
Get the shit. Let's go.
yeah, there's like a whole thing at the end of the movie where like Liu Kang's to Raiden like, I couldn't defeat Shang Tsung, and then Raiden's like, you're supposed to defeat Shao Kahn, not Shang Tsung, Liu Kang.
And Liu Kang's like, why the fuck didn't you say that sooner, Raiden?
Yeah. So, yeah, this is really good. Now to the other one, which I've only seen once now, so I might misremember some stuff about it, but I will say the first half of the movie is really good. Just as good as this, but like we implied earlier, it does kind of fall off a cliff, so we'll
I wouldn't
get...
say. I don't think it falls off a cliff.
For me, it kind of does.
I've seen way worse shit.
I guess that's true. I think it's just in comparison to this, I'm kind of like...
It's not as satisfying.
yeah,
I think
I'm a
that's the
little
better way.
disappointed.
Because I feel like it did reach a satisfying conclusion, and then it just felt like it needed to do more.
Yeah.
Which didn't feel entirely necessary, because at the start of this movie, the final, the tournament happened. Earthrealm won, so they're safe for a time. But Shao Kahn just says fuck it and attacks Earth.
Yeah, it's like
So,
full-blown war
Yeah,
going
they're just Earthrealm's forces are fighting the invaders. They got some new recruits. We got Stryker.
Yeah.
Jax has got his robot arms now.
Robot arms that turn into, like, Metroid cannons now.
Sure, why not?
I don't know. Like, Mega Man cannons, Metroid cannons, whatever. It's cool.
Robot hands do things.
yeah.
Then eventually reaches a point where Shao Kahn and Raiden come to an agreement with the Elder Gods to have one final Mortal Kombat tournament to end it all.
Yeah, in Outworld, I guess, because we go to Shao Kahn's place.
Yeah, it's this big arena, so all the
It's the
Earthrealm
one
fighters
from the game.
and the Raiden, much like another Mortal Kombat sequel movie, becomes mortal to fight in the tournament.
Yeah, and it's just as weird as the Annihilation.
I think it plays out better in this one than it did with that.
Yeah.
Because he becomes mortal to fight with them because he wants to.
Right.
Otherwise, he wouldn't be allowed to.
That's right.
Whereas the other one is just like they just tell him he has to do it because reasons. I don't know.
That's true.
Also, I guess we should say, while this movie's happening, a completely different movie is happening.
Yeah,
Because we kind
there's
of
a MacGuffin.
we continue the Scorpion storyline, which also connects to a Sub-Zero storyline with the second Sub-Zero,
Yeah.
Scarface, whatever his real name is.
Yeah, I can't remember it.
I know their action hero names. I don't know their real person names.
Yeah.
Nobody knows Sub-Zero's real name or Scorpion's real name.
Right.
Yeah, we have Sub-Zero with Smoke, and they're doing their thing, and they're like, yeah, we haven't seen Cyrax and Sector in a while. They've disappeared. They've been turned into robots.
Which is like one of the more horrifying aspects of Mortal Kombat where like, yeah, the Lin Kuei just like decided we're gonna like convert our ninjas into like robot people and
Against their will.
it is really gruesome, and I think it's Mortal Kombat 9 where I first saw it and I was like, oh my god, that's what Cyrax and Sector and Smoke are? Holy shit.
Yeah, and Smoke gets captured. He helps Sub-Zero escape, but Sub-Zero's also like, I want to kill Scorpion.
Yeah, because he killed my brother.
Ah! And we go back and forth between the two stories.
I guess it's Bihan is the
I think
good
that's the-
one.
I think that's the bad one.
That's the bad one.
I think that's at least the first one.
Okay, Bihan's the first one.
Depending on the continuity, he's the bad one.
Yeah, I just remember Bihan is Sub-Zero. I don't remember which one, but yeah.
I think that's the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, you're right, because he's like, he killed Bihan. Then,
And yeah, him and Scorpion kind of come to an understanding. They run through a level of the Sub-Zero video game.
yeah, they do.
Like, I didn't recognize it as being from that, but I recognized it as being like, this feels like it's from a platform game.
Man, that's a game that I remember being so infatuated with, even though I never owned it. But
I never even knew it existed.
I I remember my friend, this is off topic, but like back in the day, the year 1996, where you could rent video game consoles from like video stores. He rented a PlayStation, and the games he rented for some reason were Independence Day
What?
and Sub-Zero.
Okay, one of those I can understand.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess when you're a kid, you'd think the Independence Day game would be fun.
we were pretty young.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember the Sub-Zero game had live action cutscenes.
Weird.
And I just remember we got to a certain point and we literally did not know where to go in the game. But it's one of those games that I'm shocked I have not ever bought.
This is probably bad.
Yeah, it probably is. But
I mean, it's a platformer built around the Mortal Kombat engine.
apparently it's not as bad as the Jax game that exists on PlayStation.
I don't think I've ever known anyone that rented a console.
My friend and his family used to do it. Like, they rented N64 and then they rented PlayStation to try them out, and then they decided which one to get.
God, I wonder
They
how
got
much-
N64. Yeah. But, had more kid-friendly games.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like trying to think. I'm like, I had 64, so
Yeah. But, anywho, yeah, Sub-Zero game. It happened.
yeah, and they referenced it in this.
They did. We also get, Kung Lao in this.
Kung Lao can't catch a fucking break.
Really can he?
This year, and well, to be fair, any year, because as I've noticed, anytime Kung Lao has appeared in anything, he dies.
Yeah. Or he's dead already.
Yeah, because he's only mentioned in passing in the original movies.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's two Kung Laos. There's present day Kung Lao, and then there's the ancient Kung Lao. And like the weird animated thing we watched talked about the ancient Kung Lao and how he got killed by Goro.
Yeah.
And then there was that live action Mortal Kombat show, which was about the ancient Kung Lao, who died in the last episode because everybody died because the show ended on a cliffhanger. And
Wow.
then in this year alone, modern day Kung Lao died twice.
Yeah. Seriously.
I think the animated one died a much more brutal death
He definitely did.
because he got killed with his own hat.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Just say, like, man, like, Shao Kahn in this animated movie is just, like, straight up, like, monster and kind of, like, unkillable in some ways. He's, like, so fucking strong. He does all his, like, stuff where he can, like, materialize weapons and all that stuff. I think does he kill Raiden? I can't remember. Or he gets close to killing Raiden, right?
No, he kills Raiden.
He
Raiden
does-
died.
Right. Does
Or
he-
did he?
No, wait, he does, right? Does he rip Raiden in half?
I don't remember. I watched it last week.
I
Cue
watched it.
image.
Yeah, he might rip Raiden in half, and
I mean, it's Mortal Kombat. I just assume he died horribly.
yeah. I mean,
I meant to kind of refresh it, but I rewatched the first one because I hadn't watched it since last year, and I didn't get a chance to rewatch the second one.
yeah, I did a double feature over last weekend watching them. So like, I watched the first one with my two friends that have never seen it, and like we're all like, yeah, that movie's awesome. And then we watched like the second one, and we're like, yeah, this movie's just as good. And then like we get towards the end, and I'm just like, oh, you guys are gonna do. I guess I'll let the cat out of the bag. Well, actually, before we get to that, we should probably talk about the weird MacGuffin thing, because Shinnok, I guess, got revived.
Or escaped from where he was locked. He was imprisoned.
Yeah, and he's hunting for Scorpion.
They tricked the Lin Kuei get tricked into capturing Scorpion because the key thing is like attached to him.
Yeah, it like fused with his like soul.
Yeah. So they use him to free Shinnok.
Right. Oh yeah, that's right.
And then they all get killed because of it.
Yeah, and then Shinnok wants to revive this being called the One Being, which is, I guess, kind of like this other type of god that was before the Elder Gods. And it's gonna just destroy everything. And he does it because they get all the Chaos Emeralds. revive it.
It is the point in the movie where the tournament storyline and the Sub-Zero Scorpion storyline converge with literally like, Scorpion? Liu Kang? What are you doing here?
Yeah, because we get a pretty badass fight between Liu Kang and Shao Kahn. And Liu Kang beat Shao Kahn, of course.
Saving Earth from his wrath seemingly forever.
Yeah. But then Shinnok fuses with this thing called the One Being and turns into this like giant golden man.
And then Liu Kang has to become a Super Saiyan? Is that what happened?
Okay, like, I'm just gonna say, like, Liu Kang turns into, like, the dragon form, and maybe it's just me, but, like, I think Dragon Liu Kang is always lame. Like, it's so dumb. Like, don't make Mortal Kombat people fight, like, 50-foot tall kaijus or something. It's weird. It's stupid, and the fight between Liu Kang and the One Being kind of just goes on for way too long. And honestly, his like dragon form is not even that cool looking. It's just like
A little too generic.
Yeah, it's
You know what it should have been? It should have just been a fire dragon.
Yeah, maybe if it just looked like, you know, like a kind of
Like-
spirit type of like thing.
Like how in the 2021 movie he just creates a dragon out of fire.
Yeah.
Like it should have just looked like that. I mean, I guess that may be harder, maybe more expensive for this kind of animation.
I could deal with Liu Kang like shooting like fire that like takes the shape of a dragon. I'm like, whatever, that's cool. But like when he like turns into like a big ass like, let's face it, like Godzilla Shinron monster.
It even going past like the animalities because he is a gigantic dragon.
Yeah. Because like these guys like fight and it's kind of just like, why? Like we're like the creators of the movie like saying we're gonna make Dragon Liu Kang badass, and then it's just like, don't do that.
It doesn't bother me as much as it bothered you, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though it's the kind of stuff that I usually kind of like, okay, this movie stopped being cool about like 10 minutes ago, but I guess I'll just roll with it.
Because like it's like they sort of have the team. Everybody has to team up to fight the One Being, but at the end of the
It's
day,
really
it's just like
it's just Dragon
Liu Kang. Yeah. If we got like, you know, Shinnok being like super strong, and then like Liu Kang and Scorpion had to like team up to fight him, and they got to do like cool moves and shit, and maybe like Shinnok.
You mean like Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, and then like maybe Shinnok like did some like ridiculous like shooting like energy blasts, destroying mountains and crap like that. I could deal with that better than him being like 50 feet tall and then Liu Kang turning into a giant dragon and them just kind of kaiju battling.
There is a bit of a disconnect. I mean,
Yeah. It's so strong until that point for me.
Like, it's not bad. It's fine
Yeah.
at that point. And it does kind of wrap up. It does feel like, okay, if this is it, that was it.
Yeah.
But there's a couple threads that I think could lead to a potential third movie. Like Shao Kahn's body disappears. They didn't really resolve the smoke gets turned into a robot thing with him and
Yeah.
Sub-Zero. I felt like he just kind of disappeared. I thought, like, did he get destroyed? I don't know, but I guess that could carry over. You know, there's other characters.
Yeah, a bunch of characters not even in the movie.
Oh yeah.
We do, I guess, like some of the characters we do see, like, but like they're not really too important. But it's just like, hey, they're there. It's like we get like Jade, she's in there. And,
Kintaro?
yeah, and Katana's in the movie too, and she's kind of like, I guess, like more or less like evil until like the end.
She's like conflictedly evil.
Yeah.
She's doing it, but she doesn't want to. She's doing it because she's like forced to do it.
Yeah.
And she's very, considering how prominent she usually is, she's
Yeah.
very underplayed in these movies.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, these movies are very much the Liu Kang Scorpion show,
Yeah.
with Sonya and Johnny Cage having decent supporting roles.
Yeah.
And Raiden's there doing his thing.
Yeah. And
I have to say this.
okay.
I think the most brutal death is Striker's. Because
Yeah.
Shang Tsung possesses him, backs him into a blade and then makes him rip his own fucking head off.
Yeah, that
was holy shit. I was literally like, oh!
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was fucked up.
Plus, like, they definitely like make it seem like it's just like Stryker's just like a normal cop that
He's a riot cop.
Yeah, he just got involved in this like bullshit.
Because he's got to protect his home.
Yeah.
He's involved because the Earth is being attacked, and well, I got to do something. I can't stand idly by, and he died because of it.
Yeah. Weird character to see in this, but then when we watch the other Mortal Kombat animated thing, I'm like, I guess Stryker has gotten a lot of play. Stryker was always that character that, like, I was like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, I only remember him from Mortal Kombat 3. Has he been in other games?
I'm sure he has. I used to play, like, Deadly Alliance and Deception all the time, and now I can't remember shit about him except for, like, Sub-Zero looks awesome in Deception.
Is that the one where he looks like the Shredder?
Yeah, and he looks awesome.
He looks like the Shredder.
I know.
He only
The
looks
Shredder looks awesome.
Damn right he does.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But, I mean...
Oh, that insect lady is in it. I forgot her name. But
she's like a newer character, right?
yeah, I
Ish.
don't know what game she was introduced in. But
Don't look at me. There's like a long gap between me and Mortal Kombat games. It went 1, 2, 3. I played Trilogy once, Mortal Kombat Advance, then nothing until Mortal Kombat vs. DC, and then nothing till Mortal Kombat 10.
yeah, for me, not as bad, but it's like 1, 2, and 3, then Deception and Deadly Alliance Deception, then Mortal Kombat vs. DC, then Mortal Kombat 9, then Mortal Kombat 11. I just completely skipped 10 for some reason.
The story of 11 must have made no sense.
It didn't. I was asking you all these questions, and you're like, I don't fucking know. And then I'm like, well, I'm just gonna watch.
Because I hadn't played 10 in a long time, and I didn't remember.
So I just watched the cutscene movie for Mortal Kombat 10, and I'm like, okay, I sort of get what's going on now.
I mean, I didn't play 9, so I was kind of confused in 10.
I like 9 a lot. 9's really good.
I was like, why is everybody evil? What's going on?
9 is like...
What's with all the time travel?
Yeah, 9 is... like after like Deception, it's just like, yeah, the world's fucked up, Liu Kang's a zombie, and Raiden's like, man, what did I do? And then I guess Raiden's like, well, I am a god, so... No, he has like some amulet that lets him travel back in time. So then 9 is like literally like, hey, it's like original Mortal Kombat games, except like Raiden goes back in time, but he doesn't have his full memory, but he sees glimpses of the future.
Huh.
And then he's like kind of figuring out stuff, and then it kind of leads to the whole Liu Kang kind of going evil when stuff gets all messed up again, but messed up in a different way.
Weird.
Also, I'm pretty sure Sub-Zero's brother, who is usually the good Sub-Zero, gets converted into a robot. Yeah, and there's a Sub-Zero robot in it.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I should play this game.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 9 is cool. Like...
I was meant to, I just never did.
Yeah.
Such as it is. But, all in all, these are 2 really cool Mortal Kombat movies.
Yeah.
Probably the best 2 since the original.
Yeah.
They got the hyper-violence, the characters are right, the world is as ridiculous as the games.
Yeah.
It's Mortal Kombat. If you love Mortal Kombat, you'll love these. The Warner Brothers animated movies are usually really good. Like the animation's good, it looks good, it's great. It's good. They're good stuff.
I guess the next one will be Mortal Kombat meets Scooby-Doo because of that animation thing at the beginning of the one.
That was just Shaggy avenging Daffy Duck's death.
I guess so.
Oh, man.
That was weird.
Yeah.
I think that's because of a meme of Shaggy, but...
Yeah, because people were trying to get him to be, in, Mortal Kombat as a DLC character based on that meme.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is weird, but fun and cool that Warner Brothers is like, hey, whatever. I guess the animation studio is allowed to have fun.
Yeah, I mean, they generally do really good work. I mean, I don't watch the Scooby-Doo stuff, but they clearly do well. Kids must love them. It's Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Scooby-Doo as a kid. I got I'd seen the first few of them that they started doing. We were children when they started making them. They've made like 100 since then.
Yeah.
They make like 2 or 3 a year, it seems. He's crossing over with Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I know, right? That's kind of crazy. It's probably the most interested in Scooby-Doo I've ever been. But yeah, so that's it. They're good. Go watch them if you can. Or don't. Whatever. I don't care.